This is the 1974 Honda CL125 Suitcase Cycle. Right now I have a bag on the back. That's half of a pommel bag. Pommel is on a saddle, so that throws over the pommel on a saddle. Makes a really great bag. I use them on a lot of my motorcycles. I've only got it on the left side because there's an exhaust here on the right side, and also you have the kicker in the way. So I want to show you some of the features that make this a suitcase cycle. First off, there's this joint here that disassembles with an Allen wrench. That's the only tool that you need to disassemble this bike, is the Allen wrench to break the front of the frame down. Underneath the seat there's a similar but slightly different setup which breaks the backbone. So once you've done that, you've got the whole front bike of the whole front half of the bike separated. Of course, first you're going to take the seat off. To take the seat off, there's a wing nut right here and a wing nut on the other side. Also, there are these quick release pins. You push the button and pull it. There's one on both sides, one over here. You pull both of those and the fender comes off, and all of the wiring is on a quick disconnect. So you take the rear fender off, you take the seat off, you take the tank off. Once you've got those off, there are some more quick disconnects which disconnect the rest of the power to the front of the bike. You've got this handle here which you unscrew it and the whole handlebar comes off. You can sort of see what's happening right in there. Anyways, the whole, without having to undo the clamps, you just unscrew this handle and the handlebar comes off. And then there's two more quick disconnects right here which undo all of the wiring to the very front of the bike. So you do all that and you now have the whole front end of the bike off. When it comes to the back, with the bike, you were supposed to get these two things here. This is a stand, which I never got it when I got the bike. But anyways, it's a two-piece stand when I made it. This goes in here and tightens, and you end up with a stand that looks like this. And this stand fits in this here. So one on each side. And once you do that, you actually do that before you do anything else. You get it up on the stand. Then it allows you, after you've taken the front of the bike off, to tilt the bike forward, and you can then remove the rear wheel. And to remove the rear wheel, you've got a quick handle right here, and then you've got wing nuts here on the chain adjuster for when you put it back together. On the other side, there's this lever bar here, which you can use to hold the axle steady while you're unscrewing the handle on the other side to get the rear wheel off. So you unscrew the handle on the other side, holding this, you pull the axle out and the rear wheel comes off. There's one other thing which this bike doesn't have, and there's supposed to be a little thin sheet of metal that goes in here that holds the axle spacer. It doesn't allow the axle spacer to drop out when you pull the wheel out. That thin piece of metal did not seem to be holding up very well, so I eliminated it. So yeah, when you when you take the rear wheel out or put it back on, you just have to watch that axle spacer. So I think that's it. I think that pretty much covers disassembling the bike and a quick walk around. And let's see here, a couple more things. It's got 4,200 miles on it. That's actual mileage. I've put about 2,000 of those miles on it. This has been a daily driver for me, sort of. I mean, it's more like a weekly driver. I probably drive this at least once a week. And what else? Yeah, the original Suitcase Cycles came with this decal. That's an exact reproduction that I had made, and I never got this is actually a sample one. The ones that were supposed to go on are nicer. I never got around to putting the decal on the other side, but I've got a bunch of those decals that come with the bike. So there you go. The only really things wrong with this bike are the red on the top of the tank is fading, and there's a tiny ding right here. Don't know if that shows up. Other than that, this is an extremely, little bit of rust right here. This is an extremely hard tank to find. I've been trying to find a better tank ever since I got the bike, and they just aren't out there. You've got to do a repaint if you want a better paint, if you want a better tank. And then this cover is also pretty faded and has a couple marks on it. This particular cover is also extremely hard to find. So yeah, if you want a perfect bike, you'd be better off restoring that cover. Like I say, that cover is just impossible to find. So I pretty much think that covers it. And thanks for watching.